We all know what it feels like to be rejected. It's one of the most awful feelings in the world. Feeling like you don't belong, like you're not accepted. What if I told you that there are parts of you inside you that you make feel this very awful feeling every single day? The parts of you that you reject the absolute most are also the ones that crave the most acceptance inside of you. And shadow work, the process of learning to love and integrate and accept all parts of yourself, has been the most life-changing work that I've ever done in my life. Hey everyone, I'm Abhas, and today I want to talk to you about shadow work. This is a process that I discovered in the book, The Dark Side of Light Chasers by Debbie Ford, and it's bettered my life in every single way. I used to really dislike a lot of parts of myself, and through the process of shadow work, I learned that every single aspect of me, even the ones that I didn't initially like, are here to teach me something. And in being able to find more compassion and grace for myself, I was in turn able to do that for other people as well. In the exercises in this video, I hope that I can help you uncover just a few of the pieces that maybe you want to find more love and acceptance for. And if you want to follow along with all the questions and the exercises, you can download a worksheet that I've made for this video down below. So grab your journal or this worksheet and let's get started. The world is not binary. The gift that we get as being human beings is that we get to experience every single emotion, not just the good ones. We often grow up learning that positive emotions are good and negative emotions are bad. Sometimes we tell ourselves that we're not allowed to feel bad emotions. Sometimes we experience trauma that leaves us feeling that parts of us are not allowed or parts of us are bad. Think of it this way. If you've never actually allowed yourself to feel anger, how can you know what true peace is? If you've never allowed yourself to bathe in the depths of your own sadness, how can you know if what you're feeling is happiness? Your behavior is a choice. And by allowing ourselves to feel the depth of our own human experience and emotions, we can act then on top of that in the way that's most appropriate for us. This is what shadow work is. It is finding the parts of us that we have disowned and reintegrating them into ourselves by finding kindness and compassion for the parts of ourselves that we may have not allowed ourselves to be. From this place of wholeness, then we're able to find so much love and compassion for other people, because by accepting even the parts of ourselves we don't dislike, how can't we accept those parts of others that we don't? My biggest takeaway from this book is that everything that we dislike in other people is simply disowned pieces of ourselves reflected in other people. In the book, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, Debbie Ford explains each of our different emotions and feelings and shadows as sockets, like plug sockets within our body. When you don't accept a part of yourself, don't allow yourself to feel a certain emotion, don't allow yourself to act a certain way, don't allow yourself to exhibit a certain behavior, you are leaving a plug open. And when somebody comes along exhibiting that exact behavior, you plug directly into them. You might find yourself getting irrationally angry and asking, why don't they just clean up after themselves? Why is this person acting so selfish? How could they act this way? This response comes from you being triggered by other people's actions, behaviors, and emotions that you have not integrated and allowed yourself to feel. This is not easy. Each of us comes with our own baggage, our trauma, our backgrounds. But by learning to integrate shadows into ourselves and accept them and love them for what they are, we're better able to find that for other people as well. So be honest with yourself in this process. You can lie to other people, but if you lie to yourself, the true shadows will just come bubbling up in ways that are maybe not the best. So what I want you to do now is take some time and think about things that bother you about other people. What are actions, behaviors, and emotions that other people exhibit that make you feel not the best? Does seeing someone act selfish make you angry? Does seeing someone being loud and boisterous make you feel threatened? Does seeing someone act fake make you feel guarded? Be honest with yourself about the ways that you react to other people. So take some time to write down some of your own reactions to other people, and feel free to pause the video if you need some more time. Next, I want you to think about things that you are not allowed to feel, be, or experience. Think about memories and experiences that you might have had in the past that made you believe that you couldn't feel a certain way. Did you decide at a certain age that you weren't allowed to feel sad around other people? That you weren't allowed to feel angry? That you weren't allowed to make other people angry? That you weren't allowed to take up space? Dig deep here. Think about things that maybe aren't as comfortable to think about. What did you grow up learning as a limiting belief that you weren't allowed to be? All right, now let's find your shadows. So look back at your answers to the first two questions. Look at all the list of things that you've written down. What I want you to do is pick 3 of them now. The way you're going to pick them is look at each of the different adjectives, actions, behaviors, and emotions. Think about things that you would absolutely hate to be associated with. Say that's maybe arrogance, maybe that's fakeness, whatever on this list you have, you feel the most absolute abhorrence to. I want you to circle that one. And pick 3 of those that you feel the most uncomfortable with if someone else on the street actually called you that. Now what I want you to do is take these 3 and find compassion for them. Our shadows are here to help us. And what I want you to do is take each of these and think of them as your friend. Each of these is here to teach you something and help you learn. What I want you to ask yourself is, when in my life have I behaved this way, felt this way, experienced something like this, and it benefited me? When in my life did I take something like this and it helped me? For me, the 3 things that I circled on my list were fake, angry, and arrogant. Now I have my own memories associated with each of these things, but at some point I decided that I'm not allowed to be fake, I'm not allowed to be arrogant, and I'm not allowed to be angry. So when finding kindness for myself, for each of these 3 different shadows that I have not integrated in myself, I ask myself, when in my life did I act fake and it benefited me? I can think back, and I grew up in a lot of different places. I moved around every single year for 4 to 5 years between middle school and high school. It was super tough for me. And I realized that I was fake in a lot of the places that I moved to. My fakeness was there to keep me safe and make me feel like I could belong and feel integrated, even though I had just experienced something really difficult, moving somewhere completely new over and over, having to start over. In that way, my fakeness was my friend. It kept me safe and it allowed me to feel accepted. The next is anger. Anger for me has helped me really figure out what I care about. When someone or something makes me so angry that I might even cry, I've found something that I really, really care about. Clearly, something pushed a button inside of me. So my anger has been here always to help me identify what it is I actually really, really care about. What are the things in my life and my identity that I'm really, really attached to? And the last was arrogance. Arrogance for me helped me find compassion for areas of my life where I wasn't necessarily being very compassionate to myself. I found myself being arrogant about things that I felt like I was already good at. Things like photography. In these areas, I realized I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to never be able to post anything that wasn't up to my standards. My arrogance was actually helping me realize that there were parts of my life where I was limiting myself by not allowing myself to be a beginner anymore. So take some time to write down each of these 3 shadows that you have and figure out what it is each of them taught you. What did they help you experience, and what did they help you take away from it? How can you find compassion for these shadows that have been here to help you all along? All right, so we've identified your shadows, we've figured out how they actually were here to benefit you all along, and now what we're gonna do is integrate them. To do that, what we're going to do is simply say, I am that. I am fake. I am fake. I am fake. I want you to repeat this statement over and over and over until the word loses its emotional charge. I am fake. I am fake. I am fake. Keep saying it until the word just almost doesn't mean anything anymore. We assign negative and positive values to different things in order to manipulate ourselves to feel certain ways about them. And by losing the emotional charge that a word carries, you can be free to experience the full breadth of your human emotion. Now, you can say this out loud like I did, or you can write it on a piece of paper over and over and over. For me, I know that I've sort of let that word go and I'm no longer feeling any negative charge to it when I feel a sort of lightness in my chest after a certain time of saying it over and over. Now, this practice might feel a little bit strange, but what you're doing is you're integrating this into your subconscious. You're saying that this is allowed, that this is okay, that by accepting the darkest parts of myself, I'm also accepting the brightest. It might also feel weird to say that I am fake, that I am angry, that I'm arrogant. But all you're really doing is letting go of your attachment to how much you dislike that word and how much you reject that part of yourself. You are not necessarily integrating the fact that you want to be fake, that you want to be rude, that you want to be arrogant, whatever that might be. I am simply doing this so to release that energy from the word. By learning to acknowledge and integrate the darkest aspects of myself, I can learn to live from and accept my light. By learning to accept the times in my life where fakeness made me feel safe, I can live from my truest authenticity. By learning to accept the anger that I sometimes feel and allow myself to feel it, I can understand what it feels like to be peaceful. By being in the depths of my sadness, I can understand and acknowledge when I'm feeling the happiest. So I hope that moving forward, you're able to learn to acknowledge the parts of yourself that you've disowned in your own reactions to other people. Shadow work is a lifelong practice. I've been doing this for about a year, and I've only just been able to catch myself as I'm reacting to other people and realizing that it's not actually about them, it's about me. So next time that you're upset or angry or irritated at someone else or even yourself, take a moment to step back and think about, what is this about? Am I actually angry at this other person, this experience, or something happening around me? Or am I simply not accepting the way I'm allowed to react or accepting something about myself that I see in this situation or person? Shadow work completely changed my life. In learning to integrate and accept the parts of myself that I used to completely hate, I've been able to find more compassion, grace, and love for myself as well as other people. I hope this is a practice that you can bring into your own life, and even if it's in a small way, in just noticing the way that you react to other people or react to situations around you, and realizing that it's not necessarily about the situations, but maybe more about disowned aspects of yourself that you haven't allowed yourself to integrate. You can always come back to this video to find more shadows, dig deeper, or try any of the exercises you went to again. Because this is a lifelong practice, and no matter what stage of life, where you are, who you are, you will always have those shadows with you. It's about learning to accept them, love them, and integrate them, and realize that they're here to teach you something. They're not your enemies. And if you want to have a deeper dive, you can definitely check out the book, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. It's an incredible book. Again, you can download the worksheet I created to go along with this video down in the description, and feel free to subscribe. I'm creating new videos every other week on personal growth, self-love, and hopefully more shadow work. So if you enjoyed this, please subscribe. You can also sign up for my weekly emails, where I include a little self-care checklist every week to help you think about ways that you can incorporate more self-care and self-love into your life. Plus, you'll get all of the worksheets and the videos directly in your inbox. If you like this video, you might also like my other journaling and interactive videos in this playlist here, and you can work through even more worksheets and journaling. I hope you show yourself some kindness today. I'll see you in the next one.